Welcome back. We today are going to, or I am, you're watching. Thanks for watching, by the way. If you hadn't subscribed, please hit the subscribe, like, and give me a share. We're going to fire up the Lang today. We're going to do a cook later, but this little short vid is, which may end up being a part of the cook, I don't know yet, is just going to be about firing this thing up on straight wood. No charcoal, just from using my scraps out of my wood pile for kindling. And it's chilly out here. It's like 40 degrees. I just walked out. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, Sunday. Oops. And I got water in this dang thing again. Son of a bitch. All right, this is becoming a problem. This drain keeps clogging up, and this thing is not covered, so it gets water in it when it rains, and it's getting water down in these grates. It was 67 yesterday, or 63 degrees out here yesterday. It's 53 today, and this thing is not draining. All right, well, like I did before, I'm gonna go ahead and fire this thing up. If you watch the drain unclog video, it's about to happen again. We're gonna go ahead and fire this up. Dang, I should have went back and cleared that drain better after I cooked that day, but I didn't. I've got some ash in here, and I probably should get that out. Although a little ash isn't too bad for a fire. It's not a whole lot. Might prevent some air, but we got so much gap in here. I don't think it's going to hurt me today. I think I'm going to let it ride one more time on the ashes. So I think we're just going to gather some wood out of my pile over here and excuse me, get this thing fired up, and then I'm gonna have to unclog it again. So basically what I'm going to start with is small pieces like this, small slivers like this. So let me gather some of these up and we'll fire this thing up. Okay, so got me a little pile here going. We're just gonna kind of rake these ashes a little bit. Spread them out just a touch. It is a little moist in here, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think it's gonna bother us. Normally I would just pull this out and clean it out, but I need to get a fire going in this thing quick so I can start unclogging this drain. That should be fine. I want to start it in the back. A couple of these pieces have a little moisture on them because we had a lot of rain 2 days ago. But it was 63 yesterday and sunny all day. It was a pretty nice day. I should have looked yesterday about the water situation, but I'm not hiding anything. These things will leak water in, and if the drain, I'm starting to have some serious problems with the drain. It's kind of wet. I'm gonna leave that on the side. That's bark. I'm not even gonna put that in. Let's see. Just trying to leave me some air gaps, that's all. Let's start it with that. We'll let that warm up the front. Grab the torch. This is going to be a straight wood, no charcoal fire today. We're doing 2 Boston butts, 2 racks of ribs, St. Louis style, 4 chickens, and a pack of chicken thighs. I've got to clean this thing out. I need a good bed of coals in here. I'm not using a charcoal base for my coal bed. I'm gonna have to get this thing good and hot. This thing's not lighting very well. Like I said, this stuff's wet. I did moisture test my wood the other day. It's 20% or less. The pieces that I tried, at least. I had a lot of green wood that I've been burning that was on the top of the pile. It was my most recent split. And that stuff wasn't getting very hot. Smokes a lot. So I'm down to some more cured wood that I just didn't get my wood stacked like I wanted to before winter hit us, and we had a lot of rain, and I just didn't have the opportunity to get it stacked. So we were kind of pulling from the top of the stack a little bit, which was more greener, more moisture content, doesn't burn as hot, produces a lot more smoke, and burns up faster. You wouldn't think it would, but it does. All right, that should get going here. We'll let that start. We'll work on this fire for a minute. I'll grab some gloves and grab my antenna that I used to poke a hole through that, and hopefully I can get this plate warmed up. The plate warmed up underneath here. From the smoke goes through underneath the plate, comes back over the top of the grates and out. So this bottom will heat up good, and you can see the smoke starting to come up already from over here. So it comes under the bottom, reverse flow out the top. My plan is to get a lean-to off my building here for this to go under, prevent this rain situation. But I may have to start hanging a bucket over the chimney, or maybe just grab that tarp that I never seem to keep on my wood and throw the tarp over this thing, keep water out of it. That'd probably be the smartest thing until I get the roof built. All right, so let's see if the fire's catching. Yeah, she's catching. Move this in. Find us some more pieces. Got some good cured wood here from last year. Put that in there. It's got a little moisture on it. I learned this is not a good spot for this wood. I wasn't thinking, but all the water, the roof doesn't have a gutter on it. So all the water has been pouring off the roof onto my wood stack. And although we get a lot of wind through here, the sun doesn't get on this side of the building for as long as the other side. So we're gonna rethink our wood stack and probably gonna start stacking it over there and over here. We're getting rid of these pine trees. My boys have been chopping the limbs down, getting ready to drop those, get those out of the way, figure out what I'm gonna do about the stumps. They're small, but they're gonna still be there, so I gotta do something with them. But yeah, this is not a good idea, stacking wood on the side of a building where the water just pours off the roof onto the wood, and not enough. You start getting mushrooms and the moisture, you just put moisture right back in the wood you're trying to dry out. All right, let's see. Let's keep this going. Start putting these bigger pieces on the sides and they'll start drying out and getting caught as the little pieces. See how it's getting wet. Put this in. That's sweet gum, I believe. Too. Stay away from that. Let's put that in there. This isn't my cooking fire, this is my coal bed fire, so don't get alarmed at the bigger pieces I'm putting in. Bad boy's going out on me. If you want to know how to stoke a fire, you can take a leaf blower and it'll help quite a bit, and that's what we're about to do. All right, we'll let that rip for a little bit. Just start to warm this plate up. I'm gonna pull this grate out, poke this hole again, and let this water drain out again. All right. Should have came back, like I said before, and used before. If you watched the previous video of unclogging this Lang drain, I said I was going to take a engine block cleaner and stuff a brush through that hole, but I never did after that last cook. I got lazy, had other projects going on, so I just didn't do it. This time, if I can get done with this cook early enough, I'm going to. If not, I may have to just do it tomorrow, heat it up, run a brush through it, and get that thing good and cleaned out. So I can't keep cleaning this thing out every time, clean this drain out, or emptying the water out of it every time I want to cook on it. That's not a good deal. All right. Once again, water. You see my antenna. All right. She's coming out. It'll take a minute. I'm gonna slide this back. I'll let this down. We need to build some good heat in this thing. Sorry about that. Need to build some good heat. So we're gonna have to steam this thing out. I have to get this plate good and hot before I'm gonna cook in it. I'm not gonna put any food in it with water been sitting in it. So again, it's gonna prolong my cook for the day. Lens is dirty. Hopefully that's better. That's gonna prolong my cook for the day. Which I was trying to get an early start on things, but it's all right. The Boston butts will go on first. And then we'll do the rest. Ribs, chicken, stuff like that. That doesn't take nearly as long as the butts. So those pork shoulders take a long time, about twice as long as the rest of it. All right, let's check the fire. Yeah, she's wanting to go out on me. She's steaming. Let's put some air to it. Come on, man. That piece of wood wasn't as dry as I thought. Look at that moisture coming out of it. I've got a moisture meter. I need to start checking, but it's okay. It'll steam it out. We'll get this thing hot. Get a good bed of coals in it. Should be ready to cook in about an hour. I hope. That thing's heated up. It's really gotten to start. It drains. Starts draining really fast. So it's definitely a, you know, fat build up in the drain pipe, just like any sewer will do. You know, it gets. I say this is sewer, but it's like a sewer pipe. You know, it gets stuff built up in the middle of it, and until it just closes itself down to nothing. And the heat helps. The heat came up, and you see it's drained out now, and it's only really been a matter of minutes. So the rest of that will get hot, steam out. I've got this. I've got it angled down, so we're gonna grab. I'm gonna grab a level, and I think I'm gonna put a level on this thing permanently. So I'm gonna grab a level out of the shop, and we're gonna level this thing up, get this thing really trucking here. I still haven't picked my tools up from the last video where I did the Mercedes, which is still here. He's picking it up today. This is on the other side of the bourbon here. Looking good. See, it's a bubble, little bubble down. We'll crank this thing up. Let's see where that's at. All right. It's just about a touch of a bubble high, and that's about where I want it. Smoke comes across, comes up, comes this way, goes up. So that'll help the draft. I could even go a little higher and get it drafting real good. You can see already it's starting to draft better. It's coming out the top. We're gonna get a good clean fire going, good bed of coals going, and clean that smoke up, get everything good and warmed up. Leave the door cracked just a bit. A little extra airflow in. If you leave it cracked here too, it lets a lot more airflow, and it'll start pulling. That fire will get hotter. This chamber will get hotter. If you flip it down, lock it down, it gets a little cooler, chokes it out just a touch. I cycle back and forth depending on what my gauges are saying, which are a little on the dirty side right now. I'm trying to get this thing good and trucking, so I've been leaving this top grate out because I haven't been cooking enough food to need it. May need it today, I don't know. We'll see. It's easier for me to pull meat in and out without that thing in the way. I don't have to worry about bumping it, dragging my meat across it from the bottom grate to the top and all that. So I've been leaving it out. Like I said, this video is just about firing this thing up and running into little snags and just quirks, working the quirks out. I'm still learning this thing. This is my third cook on it, I believe. Fourth cook. I have not had any failures on cooking yet. First set of ribs I did in the first video, the first cook, weren't quite I mean, they were done. They just weren't. They could have stayed on for probably another 30 or 45 minutes. But they were good. I mean, they were better than anything I've done on my egg. I still use the egg. I still cook burgers on it. If I'm just doing a small batch of chicken, I'm still using my egg. I love my egg. The thing does great for small batch food. But if you're doing large batch stuff, you really want a good stick burn smoke barbecue, traditional barbecue. This stick burner deal is legit. It's really nice. You can see the moisture coming out of this thing, starting to sweat out, starting to steam out. The heat hasn't come up on my gauges yet, but you can see it starting to take effect. Add some more wood to this thing. Yeah, let's get this one right here. A good dry piece of red oak. Still haven't cooked in the char griller yet. Haven't needed to. Hopefully in the spring when it warms up, we'll have some parties over here and some get-togethers and get a real big cook going on this thing. Entertain some folks and feed some folks and have a good time. All right, she's trucking. Start to see a rise out of the temperature gauge. All right, I'm gonna throw one more stick on and we're gonna end this. I'm going to go get my meat ready, put on this thing, let this thing get up to full temperature and steam out for a while, and I'll clean it and get the meat on. Boston butts go on first. Tune back, check me in the next video and catch some of that. Thanks for watching.
You're on video. Chicken thighs. These are done with my homemade honey mustard and a mix of garlic, salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne, black pepper. I think that's it. just a rub that I threw together, and they look good. I just rub the whole thing down with honey mustard, and then I just season. I don't season the skin side. Just season the underside, and cook them skin down. I don't ever flip them. Sometimes I'll flip them, but on this smoker I don't. They cook up nice.